Well, hey, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Social Media Success for Professionals. Listen, I have the one, the only Angel Tuccy on here. She's about to school us on public relations and why that is so important for us as entrepreneurs to utilize and leverage in our businesses to grow our businesses. So, Angel, thank you so much for joining me on the show.
Heather, I am so excited to be here. I love your energy. We are going to have so much fun today.
Yes, sister, we are. So before we get into it, let's set the foundation. Let's educate the listeners on who Angel Tuccy is.
Okay, well, first of all, I married into this last name that nobody can ever pronounce, right? No. It's all good. I am Angel Tuccy all the time, but it's actually Tuccy, rhymes with fussy. Angel Tuccy, rhymes with fussy.
Got it.
But I actually met somebody who knew my nephew. My nephew played hockey and, was a local little celebrity. They actually just gave up the fight and he goes by Tuccy now. And so we're the last remaining Tuccys of the Tuccy family. But
oh my, well, just an apology really quickly, and I will make sure to keep the legend going. Tuccy. We got it.
No, it's all good. It's all good. My maiden name was Zaborowski, so I thought this was going to be an improvement. Only 5 letters instead of 10, and so it's all good. It's all fun. But I'm a media specialist. I was in broadcasting for 10 years out of Denver, Colorado. The host of 2 back-to-back talk shows, a positive business talk show. And then in a 6-minute commercial break, we'd switch studios. And then I started a second 2-hour Christian lifestyle show talking to moms in minivans in the carpool lane. So when I left broadcasting 5 years ago, I don't know when this will actually air, but as of the recording of this episode, Heather, 5 years ago today, I was in my studio getting ready to host 2 back-to-back shows, all programming, all figured out. My producer brought me and my co-host, and 5 minutes before we went live on the air, they said, "We've made a change," handed me my cardboard box, packed up my disco ball, and I was escorted out of the building and taken off the air with no warning, no nothing. But I will tell you, don't cry for me, Argentina. It was the freedom ticket that I needed to go and spread my wings. And in the last 5 years, I've now traveled all across America, Canada, London, traveling and speaking to organizations, small business owners, authors, entrepreneurs on how to leverage the power of traditional media in addition to their social media marketing.
Yeah, because it ain't all about social. And by the way, I am a social media marketing expert and agency owner, but I am here to tell you that you need other things than social media. So
yes.
We got to add in those traditional, and I have a history in radio and broadcasting. I first started out in radio back in 2000, and so in the early 2000s, I started out in radio, and I just fell in love with broadcast and what you can do in broadcast. And then I moved into television, and then I moved into social. So, I kind of have this full holistic approach to marketing, because it's so important to get off of the internet, get off the webs, and you're here to tell us about it.
I love it. We do. We have similar backgrounds in, if you were radio and television and now social. And you're right. We need it all, especially as small business owners. Think about this. Have you heard of a gentleman named Mark Rober? Is that name familiar to you?
No, not yet.
Okay, good. I mean, good for my example, right? It would be weird if it wasn't, right? Have you heard of a woman named Oprah Winfrey?
Oh, yes.
Yes. Right. Absolutely. Right. Here's the thing is, one of Oprah's most viewed interviews was when she interviewed Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. She had 17 million people watch the broadcast of that interview. And yet everybody has heard of Oprah Winfrey. Mark Rober, his last video that he dropped, within 2 days of that video on YouTube being dropped, he had 25 million views in the first 2 days. Now, here's the thing. Oprah, 17 million views. Everybody knows her. I mean, that was a pretty popular episode, right? It was one of the most talked about. And everybody's heard of her because Oprah uses all the things, radio, television, press, speaking, social, magazines, publishing, right? She uses all the things. Everybody's heard of her. And yet here we have this YouTube sensation who is probably getting more visibility, more exposure, more views on one single episode, but he uses one channel. That's it, like all of his eggs in that one basket. So most people haven't heard of him, and yet he's getting just as much visibility from an episode as Oprah. So when we think about as a business owner, creating exposure, creating visibility, attracting more leads and more customers to us, if we can leverage all the channels, then more people have heard of us, and we can become that household name, which means we can attract more clients more easily, which means we attract more money easily, right? I think, Mark probably has one or two sponsors, right? He has his handful of clients versus the number of people who spend money, right? Based on the Oprah Winfrey channels and all of that. So it's a great example of I can be in one platform and leverage social media and maybe get those views. But if I truly want to expand my visibility, my exposure, my reach, my impact, I need to use all the platforms.
Yeah. Wonderful. Right. Yes, absolutely. And sometimes that can be overwhelming, right? All the platforms, that can be overwhelming, but there's gold to be had there. There's gold to be had if we commit to it.
Well, and here's the thing too, is the formula I teach, Heather, is 2 + 1. 2 interviews a week on somebody else's platform. So a guest on somebody else's podcast, on a radio show, featuring a magazine, a panel on a virtual summit or a stage. Two interviews a week, 2 media features a week on somebody else's platform, borrowing somebody else's audience, that gives you exposure in front of 100 different audiences, all different mediums. And the +1 is 1 press release a month, which is connecting with journalists in traditional media and getting your story out into the news. So 2 interviews a week gives you exposure in front of 100 multi-diversified, a variety of audiences, 1 press release a month, and all of it's done in like 15 to 20 minutes at a time.
Yeah.
And it's probably the best time saver. You're speaking one-to-many, leveraging all those different audiences, leveraging all the different platforms. And it's not stressful because you can do it most of the time from the comfort of your home without even having to get out of bed.
That's right. That's right. Provided you have something, you have something to offer. I mean, our audience is lawyers, doctors, consultants, coaches. So we're all in public speaking, whether you want to be or not. Like, we are speakers. So, and most of us, entrepreneurs, we got the gift of gab. So use it to your advantage. And you just gave us the formula, 2 to 1.
Right. 2 + 1. And here's the thing. So if I was to ask you, right, if you were to be interviewed, you said the gift of gab. Most of us, if I handed you a microphone and said, without any preparation at all, what could you passionately speak on? What could you teach on? What could you educate? What could you share? Because this isn't an infomercial, right? You want to give value. And we do, right? I mean, at the heart of most small business owners, entrepreneurs, speakers, right, in our industry, we truly want to serve our clients. We want to make life better for them. We want to improve. So we have education, we have wisdom, we have experience that we can share in a media interview. So if I was to ask you, like, what'd you speak on? And then what are the top 3 bullet points, right? What are the top 3 things you would share? You can start to craft your value to a journalist, to a podcaster, to somebody on stage who's looking for an expert, who's looking for content, who's looking for a good story. And right now, somebody, right? You're somebody's Oprah. They're looking for you somewhere.
Yeah, you get an interview and you get an interview and you get an interview. Come on in. That's the thing. I love it. And listen, doing this, the 2 podcasts a week, the 1 press release a month, doing the podcast, I mean, that is content creation. So as we're sitting here thinking like, yes, we need social, we need the press releases, we need this and that. I mean, by doing this, number 1, you're strengthening your muscle. You're strengthening your muscle. You're getting better and better and better and better and better, delivering your message in really short, impactful ways. And then 2, you're giving yourself content to share over and over and over again. And then 3, street cred. Can we talk about street cred, about being on other people's audience?
You know what? You see all the time, right? You go to somebody's website and it says as seen on, as featured on, and it shows the magazines, the publications that they've been featured in. Why do they do that? Why do they do that? Right? Street cred. But here's the other piece to that is those brands are familiar. And if we can match up your brand next to something familiar, then because I already trust that brand, I recognize that brand, there's familiarity, your brand matched up with it, we increase that know, like, and trust factor, right? Now I think I can trust you because I trust that brand and you're matched up with it. If they had you, maybe I should check you out. And it is, if they wanted to have you, like if they featured you, maybe I should at least listen or pay attention and hang out with you for a couple of minutes and see if you've got the goods, right? So definitely for street credibility, for elevating your brand, for attracting new leads, for content. It's all fresh content. Even if what you're sharing in those interviews is the same information, because of the way that it's being interviewed, the interviewer, the way they ask the question, your energy that day, the way you answer it that day, it's always going to be just enough different that it is fresh new content. And you can slice that up, right? Give all your content multiple lives, right? Put it in a blog, slice it up as a little video short, as a reel, put the long piece out, turn it into an article. Like you can do so many things, and social media is a great platform for that.
Yeah. And that's the best thing about this, again, getting on these interviews is like you said, giving it legs, repurpose, compounding your content. I mean, that's what we try to teach everybody that I work with, all the clients that we service. It's how much can we squeeze out of one idea or one interview. Let's talk about interviewing really quick. You have an amazing resource for us if we want to get on a podcast. Can you tell us about that?
I do. We created my Media Matchmaker Facebook group, which is really about bringing people together who are looking for quality guests and guests who are looking for more stages and places to be interviewed. So it is the best online group for finding guests and getting booked. It's a Facebook group, but if you go to needaguest.com, it'll take you to the Need a Guest Facebook group. And Heather, hopefully by the time this episode airs, we will have reached and crossed over 18,000 members in that group.
Wow. And how long has the group been going on? 18,000. Wow.
18,000. So it's about 2 years old is the group. We started it right during the pandemic as a resource because everybody was home, right, available to do interviews and to get on stages. And we're going to do a live version of that event in 2023 in Denver in August of 2023. So it'll be fun to bring that group together and do a live version of the Need a Guest kind of media fair.
Yeah. Oh, that's going to be wild. And in fact, I've used Need a Guest. I'm going to be having an interview with a Need a Guest member in about 2 weeks. So thank you so very much for that. By the way, free resource. So
free resource.
No reason why we can't be on podcast, kids. Like, you just need to take the step forward and do it, right?
And anything that you speak on, right? There is a podcast for everything, the variety, the diversity. If you are passionate about, and especially if this is something you serve clients, it's a way to monetize and to attract more clients into your sales castle. It's brilliant. But even if you just are passionate about being a guest and have an entertaining story, there are definitely opportunities for you inside that group.
Yeah, absolutely. I did we both did Voices of Women Summit this year, and I got the opportunity to host 12 speakers. So I interviewed 12 speakers in that 12-hour period, and it was anything from, how to break through and get the life that you love, to how to deal with your anxious pet, to hypnosis. So literally whatever topic you're passionate about, grab the mic.
Grab the mic. Yeah, I love how Kimberly Crow with Speakers Playhouse, if somebody hands you the mic, you say yes. Yeah. And there are so many opportunities to grab the mic every single day. And here's the thing, Heather, like, especially as business owners, the number one struggle, I used to travel to all these expos and, small business expos, and the workshops that had to do with marketing and getting clients and leads, like those ones were always overflowing, filled up, standing room only. And if you were to ask most business owners, what's the number one thing I could help you with right now? They usually say, I need more customers.
Yep.
But here's the thing. Every single day, there are journalists, there are podcasters, there's magazines and stage hosts. They are looking for content. They're looking for guests. They're looking for stories to feature, and they have an audience, right? They have a huge audience. So we can do one to many. So there's a platform every single day, hundreds of thousands of opportunities. And yet we have all these business owners saying, I don't have enough people who've heard of me, because they're building their business one person at a time. They're taking the slow boat. They're doing one-on-one emails and discovery calls and, trying to book their calendar, right, with 100 people to get down to one client. Whereas if you had a Media Matchmaker site like Need a Guest, or worked with somebody in PR and publicity that could match that for you together, you could be in front of 100 audiences every single year, right? Every week, 2 + 1, getting in front of fresh new audience, bringing them into your sales castle. You would be doing the podcaster and journalist a favor. You'd get in front of a fresh new audience, and the world would just be a happier place.
Yeah, it would be a happier place. That's right, because internally your world would be a happier place. So here's the deal. Angel, how are we going to do this? I have a laundry list of things that I need to do as a business owner. Can you help me?
I can absolutely help. So here's a couple of things, right? One, can I give a gift to your audience?
I would love that.
Right.
Please,
so
and
we
thank you.
put together a media starter guide to baby step opening the door for media opportunities, putting your first pitch together. What should that expert topic be? How do you reach out to journalists? And then actually guaranteed media exposure. So we baby step that for you, and it's a complimentary guide. You can get that at my website, makeyourbigimpact.com. That's makeyourbigimpact.com. There's a complimentary media starter guide for you. And in there, it is also going to give you connection to that Facebook group. We have a book that we've put together. And then if you are interested, we run a Media Mastery Boot Camp a few times a year, where we bring you in and put together all of your media assets in a 3-day event. And it's all there at makeyourbigimpact.com.
There you go. Makeyourbigimpact.com. Learn from one of the best, y'all. Learn from one of the best. Angel Tuccy, the best in the industry to get you in front of just people. Instead of going one-to-one, we're going one-to-many here. She's going to fast track you. So needaguest.com, makeyourbigimpact.com.
Yes.
And Angel Tuccy. There you go.
There you go. That's all you need.
Did we miss anything, my friend?
Oh my gosh, Heather, there was a lot here to unpack, right? But I think just that if you take anything away from it, it's just knowing that there are so many opportunities for you every day. Journalists want your stories. They're looking for guests. We've got resources for that. Once we can put your story together, your media pitch of what your expertise is and what you would share, you're off to the races and you're good to go.
There you go. From the one and only Angel. You have been an angel. Thank you so much for sharing all your wisdom and your knowledge with us. Thanks for making us stronger. We now can serve in more impactful ways because we're going to get in front of more people, and we're going to do it easily. And you showed us the way. But if you need more help, makeyourbigimpact.com.
Absolutely. Heather, thank you so much. This has been a blast.
Thank you. I'm Heather Holloway, and you've been listening to Social Media Success for Professionals. Thank you so much for being here. It means the world to me and my team. Hey, remember, check the show notes for resources and links to other episodes, and don't forget to hit that subscribe and follow button to be notified when new episodes are released.